All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Transform Tales podcast, where we explore the power of change in our lives and communities. I'm your host, Brooke Addis of Transform Labs, and in each episode, we'll be chatting with inspiring and unique individuals about the transformations they've experienced, whether in their personal lives, careers, or the communities they serve. Today's guest is Alison Mears. Never met her before in my life. You've probably never seen her, and you've definitely never seen a picture of her dog. Alison, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm happy to be here. So I am the ripe age of 34. I don't know why I'm starting off with that, but I own Steelhouse Cycle, which is a cycling studio in the Lawrenceville neighborhood in Pittsburgh. And yeah, I don't know. I born and raised in Pittsburgh, left for a while, ended up coming back like we all do. And
The boomerang.
yeah, right. It's like an ex-boyfriend. They always come back. And yeah, I opened my first cycling studio in 2014, closed during COVID, rebranded, restarted right after the pandemic kind of started opening up again. And here we are.
Here we are. Well, you're a sibling. You're a middle child,
I'm
right?
a middle child. I'm one of two middles, so I don't know if that really counts as a middle, but like I associate myself as being like the more middle of the two middles. Does that make sense?
I understand.
Like out of traits of the middle child, like she definitely has some, but I definitely have more.
You're like the stereotype. If someone like went down the list, you're like, it's me.
I'm like an attention hoe, but only like not in my family. I feel like I'm always the one that kind of like sits back, but then I like need attention. That's why I became a cycling instructor.
The first thing I'm going to do when I talk to my sister after this is I'm going to say, are you the middle child or the middle child?
How many are you?
I'm the oldest of 6. So we have a lot of middles.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this is the first time we've
met. It's because I have 2 significantly younger half siblings, but you know, those are my sisters. Love them. But what that gives me 4 middles.
A lot of middles. That's a lot of middling. What you have to ask yourself in that situation, it's like when you're putting a table layout together, who are you putting in the middle? Who can middle the table?
Oh, yeah. So it's Joyce.
Okay.
You've met her.
Yeah.
That makes
right?
sense.
And you have to like, that's a lot of pressure to carry the middle, but like, you know, you can do it. Like they'll talk to like weird Uncle Sal.
Yep.
But they could also be like
Crying
yeah, like
about their phone.
yeah.
And nothing's
I guess.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, I first of all want to thank you for being on here.
Yeah.
Is this the first time you're going live video podcast?
Yeah.
It is.
It's my first time, baby's first podcast.
Good.
I was on this is like my first official podcast.
Okay, great. So at least some marketing materials. Don't be nervous. If it makes you feel any better, every podcast I've done up until this point, which I'm just about to hit 20, you're number 19.
Here we go. We're still teenagers.
Yes, it always gets better as it goes. So the beginning feels clunky and you're listening to it, you're like, oh, don't put this out. It's so embarrassing. And the end comes and you're like, I am awesome.
I honestly, like, I feel like being on a microphone as like my profession every single day. It's like,
You're fine.
yeah. Like, I'll probably say something weird and you're like,
okay.
That's who I am.
Yeah. You are exactly who you are.
I'm
and
a
I
middle
love that about
child.
you.
Yeah. I'm a weirdo. So anyway.
Well, thinking back to when you were little, did you wake up one day when you were 6 and run down the hallway and see your mom and go, Jan, guess what I want?
No, I don't even think they probably had cycling instructors in like the box gym type of like way. No, I don't. I wanted to be, I gave a TED talk on this when I was like 25. I wanted to be someone. I wanted to be, I don't know. I always wanted to be a star, I guess, in some capacity, which sounds like so, I guess, like egotistical and conceited. But for a long time then, like in high school, probably I wanted to audition for like Broadway at some point. I don't know. I always wanted a name for myself, which like didn't really have a career associated with it. But I also, but I took my first cycling class in the 7th grade with this woman named Donna, and she was like 4'11" and like super tan, this little pixie haircut, and like Bon Jovi was blasting. And I was addicted from like the 7th grade. I would make my parents, there was this little gym in Fox Chapel that my parents would drive me to at like 5:30 in the morning before. And then my sisters got their license. Then like we would go. And I was just addicted to it. And so I got certified at like the end of my senior year of high school. And
I don't know if this is dumb to ask, but I didn't even know you could go to a cycling class as like that young.
It's like more of a height requirement.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's from coaching. I coached middle school field hockey and lacrosse. It's just, I think with like when you're working with younger kids, they don't necessarily know when to stop asserting themselves.
Okay.
So I think it's just making sure like they're in like a safe environment and like talking them through that. But I played sports all the way through. I mean, I was a swimmer, played field hockey, lacrosse, whatever. And so I don't think it was really, I don't know. It wasn't a matter of like being in shape. It was just, I don't know. It was just like the music and the
energy.
And this little like Donna's up on the podium and I'm like, you go girl. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I just, an instructor who worked with me for a long time, Tim, who's still one of my like really good friends and mentors. He at one point was like, he was like, you have a great personality. And like hearing that from this like beautiful man, I was like, he likes me. It's like the first time I probably ever got complimented by a man.
He's pretty impressive too.
He's super impressive, and I didn't peak in high school, so I wasn't like often getting complimented by men, whoever it was. So yeah, and then I just started doing it through college. And
did you know at some point that like, okay, can I make this a career? Like, can I do this all the time, or was it a struggle?
I mean, it's definitely been a struggle, but boutique cycling started really like picking up like the Soul Cycle, flywheels. It was like probably like the 2014, 2015, like the time to be in fitness and like within big cities. And I went to college at Emory University. So I lived in Atlanta, and Flywheel was there, which is a chain that has since closed, which like RIP, I loved Flywheel. But it was after being there and in that environment where the music is loud, you're in this pristine studio, and everything's always like I guess working, which if you're comparing that, when I moved back to Pittsburgh and I went from an environment that was this like pristine studio where you got one-on-one attention, you're paying 30 some, I don't think it was that expensive in Atlanta yet, but you're paying $30 for a class, but you're getting like, they have your shoes all ready for you when you walk in, and everyone knows who you are and you know who everyone else is. And I went to an environment like that. I graduated from college in 2013, and it was very much like the millennial generation coming out of college where like jobs were so hard to come by. I studied journalism and English literature, which with a focus on Shakespeare, because that was going to help me get a job. It actually is a funny invisible string theory tied to like how I got this studio open, which I'll tell you after. But I couldn't get a job. I couldn't land a job in journalism
or anywhere. I was a 2014 graduate, so I feel that.
I moved back to Pittsburgh, and I was working at this children's boutique down the street, the Picket Fence, who I love and adore, and I think it's female owned, family owned, and I was working there. I was working a million different jobs, just trying to like make money, and I started teaching at the LA Fitness down the street, which like everything was always broken. They had this like glass door that they never shut during classes because it would get too hot in there and people would walk in and out. Their microphones never worked. Like the sound system it was a mess. And so I went to DC to visit a friend who was still in school there. And we had dinner with her brother who works in real estate here in Pittsburgh. And they kind of gave me the idea over a few too many cocktails. And then I was like, no, I could never open a business. I didn't study business. I'm not like, I guess like I didn't consider myself a business person because I wasn't a math person. I was always told I was the social one, aka the not so smart one of the family. But yeah, driving home from DC, I was like, I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I told my parents that night. Obviously, boutique fitness wasn't in Pittsburgh yet, besides some yoga studios, and everyone thought I was crazy. But I was like, I'm doing it. So I opened my first studio, Steel Revolution, in 2014.
That was Shady Side, right?
It was in Shady Side off Walnut Street. Yeah.
Yeah.
And ran that successfully until COVID. And our lease was over. And I had several business partners I'd been trying to buy out for some time. Hindsight's 2020. I'm thankful I didn't spend the money to buy them out for numerous reasons. And then we just kind of dissolved everything. I had a full mentee bee during COVID, and like felt like I'd lost a child, because that's all I knew career wise was this community and business. And after streaming in my living room during COVID, I developed a following of like 4,000 people would take my Saturday power hour. And I just knew I wasn't ready to be done. So that's how I signed a lease and opened in Lawrenceville. Yeah. Yeah. It's a long story short. But yeah, no, I never thought this is where I'd be.
Especially with all those, the degree, the college experience in general, like where you were living, very different than the vibes here.
Yeah.
I've been to Atlanta.
Super different.
Yeah. And I mean, gosh, how many recessions have we lived through now? But not a great time to graduate.
The world's on fire. No. Yeah, but the thing is what I've learned is fitness is sort of recession proof. And I've taught at Solid Core for 8 years. I was one of the founding coaches in East Liberty. And I learned a lot from Ann Malum, who's the founder there, and she was bought out. But she said that, and like her model going through COVID was very different. I mean, I think she got a lot of slack at the time for laying off a lot of coaches and instructors. But I mean, pretty much out of COVID, I was managing, after my studio shut down, I was the HCCM of the East Liberty studio. And they were like dead set on getting back open and opening more studios. And I was like, they have to be. Crazy. Everyone kind of doubted fitness ever bouncing back. And Peloton was really, took off during COVID. But people crave community. They crave, and fitness makes you feel good. Moving your body feels good. It's all community focused. And that's why, I mean, now fitness investments are up by trillions of dollars. And so I actually am really proud of where I am. And like, I think I'm really lucky to be in the fitness industry, just because I really do see it lasting the long haul.
I also do think because we live in the United States and our food isn't the best. I think that people focus a lot more on fitness. Not that that doesn't happen in other countries, but as like a priority.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of always combating something else that has.
Yeah, it's funny. I think it's also because our culture doesn't, different in certain other metropolitan cities and within the United States, but in Pittsburgh, it's really hard to commute unless you have a car. It's really, we're very neighborhood focused, but the neighborhoods are very spread out and by the hills and terrible sidewalks. And so you're not walking as much. Like you'll dedicate a hot girl walk in your neighborhood, but you're not walking necessarily unless you have the time from the Strip to East Lib.
Or scooter.
I mean, I love my scooter.
I'm glad it was returned to you.
It wasn't. I bought a new one. Guys, my scooter was stolen last year. But I have to go to court. They did find them.
Okay.
They're still in jail.
Oh,
because it was like a whole klepto thing.
Okay. I'm horrible. I'm sorry. I thought you got it back because it's not on a scooter again, but I'm glad that you have a scooter.
You can't be in a bad mood and be on a scooter. It's just a little joy.
I'll never forget the wind in your hair. I saw you in Jay's the movie. Oh my God. I said, Alison, you went, I'm going to Solid Core. Just kept going. I might have taken your class. It was so funny.
Oh yeah, that's
what a time.
Facts. What a time. But yeah, no. So yeah, I think but even more so just, yes, I think moving your body and physical fitness, and everyone is so much more focused on like the longevity and overall wellness is such a hot topic these days that I think that's what people are just looking for. Instead of looking for communities to go to a bar to, you're looking to socialize in a sauna, and that's what people are looking for.
We do love a no shower happy hour, but
I love a no shower happy hour. Yeah,
this point is coming full circle. Before I was with you after a work meeting, I actually went and got an IV drip for energy because I'm about to travel. And it's
Health is wealth,
something
baby.
I've been trying to get into the habit of once a month, because sometimes you look at a price tag and you're like, do I commit to it? And it's like, but it's for me.
And I think I saw someone post on social the other day that when it comes to spending money on the frivolous things, like a night out to an expensive dinner, what, $100+, you're not really going to question that. But when you see that it's $150 a month for a membership, probably more than that. I'll say like we're $199 for a month unlimited. But that's 2 nice dinners that you went out and had a great time. Not that those nights aren't important. I think everything's important in moderation, but when it comes to, like, we don't tend to question the things that maybe aren't going to give us the longevity and health. But it's so important. It's so important. I just went to Mind Fuel in the Strip District.
Okay.
Yesterday they had a gua sha and sauna cold plunge. And it's like, I feel like probably 2 years ago would I have spent a Sunday morning doing self-care and like calling that, like I probably would have like abused myself with like 3 workouts and then went to like a boozy brunch after. But it's like now I finally am 34, which is not old. And I'm a proud millennial. We walked so that you Gen Zs could run. But it's like those are priorities now of mine to feel better mentally, physically, emotionally, etc.
And lots of walks with Ted.
Oh, Ted, he's the best. I have a Bernese Mountain Dog he's only 113 pounds. He's a lean 113, but he's humongous.
He's a big boy.
It's because I make all of his meals.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you have so much free time. But it's going into his body.
But he's my baby.
Yes.
He's my baby. He had chronic diarrhea for a year. So anyone that's out there questioning me, you would make your dog's own dog food. If your dog ruined several rugs, carpets, and in between.
But yeah, does he still love going to the studio? I know he's like kind of the mascot.
Yes and no. I mean, this is such a great problem to have. We grew over 60%.
Congratulations.
In the last year. Thank you. And so now on a given Saturday, we run 4 back-to-back classes. That's like we have almost 40 bikes in the studio.
You're packed.
That's 150 plus people there in and out on a weekend. And it's a lot of people like grabbing at him because he's so floofy and big and cute and handsome. And he doesn't do anything. I can just tell that it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of anxiety for him. So I don't bring him quite as much. Every once in a while I will, like if I have to buzz straight out of there and he's coming with me. But no, I don't bring him quite as much. It's just, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't like 150 people grabbing at my face either.
I agree. I think that's safe for him. It's safe for you because there's probably some anxiety of like if you're on the podium and he's out there and you're like, who's talking to him right now? Or what's he getting into? But he got a ton of time there when he was a little guy.
He doesn't mind. He just goes and lays in the corner. He doesn't do anything.
Closest air vent.
I know the riders love to see him, and I think it's like that emotional support.
Yeah.
I think maybe he's only a year and a half, so I know. So I think maybe when he like mellows out a little bit more, maybe he'll come back around. I don't know.
He hasn't mellowed out yet?
I mean, he's mellow. He's a Bernese Mountain Dog. He's like super chill, but I think he's not neutered yet. He won't get neutered until they try to make you wait. Yeah, so I think that will kind of also.
He was a little shark when he was. Oh my gosh. He got me one time real good, and I said, "It's okay. You're so cute."
I know. My hands are covered in scars. It's fine. It's all right. He's cute. Things we do.
Yeah, we gotta love him. Well, Steel Revolution is where you really decided to become an entrepreneur, take what you've learned from these people, and that came and went with, I'm sure, all the trials and tribulations as you shared. Was Steelhouse Cycle, is the title, like the name, a little bit of a homage to that past, coming into something new? How did it come up?
So yeah, Steel Revolution, I don't even remember how we fully came up with that name, to be honest. Steel, obviously Pittsburgh, but we didn't want the name at the time because a lot of times I'll be called, like, people will be like, she owns Steel City. I'm like, there's not city in the name, but it was like homage to born and raised, but steel as a substance is like such a, I mean, it's the material that doesn't weather really, you know, it stands the test of time. And that's what we were trying to encourage riders to build, not just physically, but like, I think cycling is way more transformative mentally more than physically. I mean, obviously you're going to have physical benefits of it, cardiovascular benefits from it, but yeah, that's how that came about. But for legal reasons, I couldn't keep the name. And for other traumatic reasons, I was ready to move on. But I was at a dinner with my sister and kind of bouncing around names. And I wanted to keep the steel because that's what people kind of knew me and associated me with. But she was like, well, all of my friends always would say I'm going to ride at Steel tonight. So I thought that was something to keep in the name. But when we were shutting down, I received a number of notes from riders and members that said how much the studio had become their home. And so my sister said, what about Steel House? Because it's the heart that you have.
Or repping.
Yeah, it's my little heart.
Make it on like champion.
It's the heart that's what makes a house a home. And I think we look at, I mean, as I was traveling around after the pandemic and I would go into different fitness environments, I realized even as a fitness professional, how intimidating it is to go into a new space and how scary that is, especially, I mean, the pandemic was traumatic for so many reasons. And then on top of it, we're staying inside. We don't want to be around people. And so I really wanted to try to take the fear and intimidation out of moving your body and like what would happen if we just went back to celebrating movement and feeling good and prioritizing community over everything else. And the physical elements, they'll come. But if you can just make someone feel comfortable and supported and seen from the second they walk in, that's what Steel House became to represent. Like, let's literally make this house your home. Like, you need to cry with the lights off. Like, cool. I've been there. It's like a good shower cry. We've all been there. And that's what, like, you want to feel joy. You want to feel happiness. Like, we'll help you feel celebrated, all the things. But that's how Steel House, the name, was more so in the, like, let's make our house of steel your home, you know?
Yeah, and that's how every class ends too. I don't think I've ever been to a class where
you say welcome home.
Yeah. So it's really good.
Yeah.
I love that you kind of respected the past that you went through to get
everything
where you are now with that name, but also said it needs to be more than what it once was.
I mean, there's so many feelings about that. And there's a lot that happened but like, I'm only here because of that. I learned so much from the first 7 years of that studio. And I learned, I mean, I think even if it's like when you take a fitness class that maybe you didn't jive with, like, you learned what you didn't like. I learned what not to do in business. I learned that I can't do it by myself. I was really running a studio with other partners, but fully on my own. And I didn't really have the tools. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to run QuickBooks. On top of managing a team and teaching 30 classes a week. It was, I burn out. Like, I honestly, the trigger warning, I was fully suicidal during COVID, and I'm like really thankful to be here to this day, but that's from burnout. I was so burnt out mentally, emotionally, physically. And I came from out of, like, I think the wellness space. I'm not thankful for COVID and obviously how many people lost their lives, and I mean that, but I do think it allowed a little bit of reset for everyone, including myself. And the rate I was going, if COVID hadn't happened, there's not a single doubt in my brain that I'd be dead. Whether, I mean, hopefully not self-inflicted, but the rate I was going, I was working out 2-3 times a day, eating maybe maybe if I was lucky, 1,000 calories plus. Like we were in this world where we were like, in fitness instructors became gods and goddesses, and it was like what your body looked like and how many abs you had and
Your follower count and
yeah, like how like it being impressive on Instagram. And I was going at a rate that
everything else.
It's inhumane, honestly, but it's also unhuman. Like it's just like, I mean, there was nothing that should be celebrated about that. It was, and yeah, I truly think I would have had COVID not have happened when it did. I don't think I'd be here. Like whether that be like a heart attack or something else. Like, yeah. So I'm like thankful for what I learned, but I'm also thankful for like
Everything else.
where fitness
Shifted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's my hope for everyone, every person, is that they find a way to just feel good about moving their bodies. And like, let's normalize that. Let's normalize let's just normalize feeling good. Like, can we? And I think, yeah,
Let's show up and do it.
yeah, let's just like, even on the days it's hard, it's like, let's give someone the support. Like life is so hard. Like, let's just like be proud of what we are doing and what we can do. And yeah.
When you were going through this, I can't believe COVID lasted years, but do you think you learned even more about yourself as a person outside of the fitness world and running a business and trying to be like a friend and a daughter and all those things?
You learn a lot when the world gets quiet. And
everything.
Yeah, I mean, when I was really in it and I was fully super depressed, I mean, I was terrible to be around. Terrible. And I could tell.
Everything else.
But yeah, I also, like, the group of friends I had, I'm not friends with the majority of them anymore. And there was some tough lessons to be learned in that. I think, like, was I the best friend I could be? No. Were we all going through so much? Absolutely. But I mean, I also, when people are in it and sometimes you just, like, it was
everything else.
You really learn who has your best interest, who has your back. And I think the world also, like,
everything
the universe really does kind of push you on the right path. I think I like shed a lot of toxic friendships, and I think maybe not even toxic. It's like, I don't wish any of those people anything negative.
You just ran their course.
I outgrew friendships. I think there was a lot of like keeping up with the Joneses I was doing pre-COVID. I was friends with a lot of people who, like, their priority was to get married and have children. It's not my priority. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just, I wanted a big career and that's all I wanted. And I think it just, life realigns you with the people that you need when you need them. And I think a lot of those women got me through my 20s and I had so much fun. And I think that's what those friendships were, like, having fun. And then life changed. Shit got real. And can I swear on here? I don't
yes,
know.
You can.
And, and I think I'm now friends with some extremely wonderful, like, career women. But also I think the biggest in friendships was, like, I now have people who my losses are their losses and my success are their success and vice versa. And that's what friendship is. It's, I think, especially with women, we tend to pit each other against each other all the time. And it's tough. And I've gotten so much further in my career by having these amazing women by my side. And I think in that I became a better friend. And I mean, my family's everything to me. I'm really, really lucky to have an incredible, my parents are godsends. I truly, like, they're saints and such wonderful human, and have always told us, like, family first. And I know that's not everyone's story, but that is my story. And so, yeah, I think I look at the world and people with much more grace and understanding now than I think I did before. I have, like, much more patience with people,
which I think is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have come out the other side the same person you were before, and I think that could be a lot worse.
Yeah. I mean, you have to evolve. And you can either, and I think it's all about perspective. Like you can either, it's like, woe is me. And there were moments it was woe is me. And we all have those. That's human. But you can either decide to stay in it or learn from it and grow and adjust. And if you have the attitude the world's out to get you, will constantly feel like the world is out to get you. When I think it's just, I read this, the universe will teach you the same lesson over again until you actually learn it.
It's like insanity doing the same thing over. It's exactly
so you can either like learn it and try to move forward or just stay in it. And that's where I feel like a lot of negative mindsets, that's
it.
Yeah.
I've taken a few classes where your parents have been there. They're lovely, lovely people. And I have chased your mom down the street to say hi.
So. I know, she's such a cutie.
She's so kind.
She's so kind. That's the thing. She's so kind. Like, and like, my mom was voted friendliest in high school, and she likes to remind us of that. I was voted friendliest. I was voted most dramatic, which, and then I've talked about this on my Instagram before in my car sits. And then it was like a negative thing. It was like the same thing as having on your report card, you talk too much. But now I'm like, thank God, because it makes me so much more fun. And like, that's my class is like, it's dramatic and the drama and like that we'll laugh, we'll cry. Like,
but you need it.
You need it.
It's what you need.
Your favorite shows that you watch are dramatic.
Yep.
No one wants a boring plot line. I don't want to be a boring plot line.
I will say, in my time coming to Steelhouse, my favorite plot line was in between relationship Alison, when we were very in love. Then we were in hate. We were going on dates at the same time and seeing each other across the street. And then we came full circle.
Yeah.
It just made for, your classes are always fun. I've never had a bad experience at Steelhouse. I could say that honestly. I've been to other studios. But that was probably
it's so fun. I did get dragged once for talking about my dating life. Yeah, that's
Google
okay.
review?
I mean,
like,
no, it wasn't a Google. Well, it was like an anonymous, I don't know. It was like an anonymous, like on Instagram, you can write like an anonymous, whatever. And someone was like, I don't know. It was like a, whatever. Honestly, I have had a Reddit article written about me and the things that were in it were untrue, but I feel like you haven't made it till you have a hater. So it's really okay. And I'm not for everyone. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. That's totally fine. But no, I like loved talking about my real, because the thing about it is like we're all so much more alike than we will ever admit. And it's like, if I can make you feel more comfortable because I admitted and I have the opportunity to because I wear a microphone, but that also makes you feel more human. Like, yeah, bless. You know what I mean? How many times I went through things and I just felt alone. And that's like, especially when you have like anxiety and depression, you just feel alone in your conspiracy theories that you've made about yourself. Like, you're like, no one else could feel this way. But like, yeah. Oh gosh, though, the dating, I don't miss it. I'm dating like the loveliest human. He's like, thinks I'm incredible. And I don't know, I'm a hot mess most of the time, but he's a very patient person. But yeah, no, some of those datings highs but they made for a good story.
The plot line was there.
The plot line was definitely there.
I was going to say, I think it was I think it was last summer when you did the outside in the strip district. Was that Body Rock? Or that was probably Pride, maybe Pride. That lovely man said the nicest thing. Yeah. I don't even know if you know he said this, but I overheard this because I was drinking some much needed Gatorade after taking a class. He said, I'll do whatever that queen needs. I said, as you should.
Yeah, he literally,
because you guys were moving bikes and
he does. He like literally shows up like
ready to go.
Yeah, he would literally bend over backwards for me. And that's actually, that's hard to get used to. Like, that's when you've been in really traumatic relationships. It's really hard to trust when someone's like saying like, I'm here, I'm consistent, I'm there, I have your back, and learn that they're not lying. Like that's been really hard for me to trust. But I mean, like, and that's because I've had a lot of business relationships, personal relationships, friendships say the same thing, and they're not here. how many years later, but this is the invisible, they call it the red string theory.
Okay, yep.
Here's my red string. So I have always had this fascination with Shakespeare, especially A Midsummer's Night Dream. I think it's like such a magical tale, and it's like so messy and dramatic and
very, very on par for you. Okay.
So that is what I wrote my thesis about at Emory. It was about actually homosexuality in A Midsummer's Night Dream, but so anyway, I love the story. I've read it time and time again, the play. And Sam, my boyfriend, and I have been like, we went through an on again, off again phase, as I had a lot of growing up too, and so did he. But for my 30th birthday, he gave me a first edition copy of A Midsummer's Night Dream that he's like, I mean, he's super into, he's like the smartest person I know. He reads more than any person, but he was really into finding old like first edition copies, and he found one, and I have one, and the artwork is original. Like the only other copies of this art is in the Met. Like anyway, so it's insured. It's at my house. And coming out into COVID, like when we dissolved our business, dissolving a business is super expensive. Like
yep.
And then like there was a whole thing with the land, like we had to turn the space back over to its original, the whole thing. And I literally had like so many $0 to my name, like none. And so when I started working again, I was the manager at Solid Quarries Liberty, and I moved back in with my parents, and I started bartending, and I was like, I'm going to open the studio. And so I would like, the only money I would allow myself to spend was my bartending tips, and I saved everything else, paid off like debt I had racked up, etc. And then when it came to signing the lease, they were like, what are your assets? And I leased my car at the time. I lived with my parents. I'm like, I have nothing. What I had insured was my first edition copy of A Midsummer's Night Dream. And the lease to my current studio, like the reason I got it was because I have
that book,
that asset that Sam gave to me.
Wow. And
now like I'm running nearly $1 million business that was literally guaranteed off of a lease, off of A Midsummer's Night Dream. So I can't say my college degree got me nowhere, because I guess
you knew the value there.
Yeah, so I guess it got me somewhere. Yeah, that's my red. Is that? I think that's the red string theory.
Yeah, no, that's what. Yeah. That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
That I'll put a pin in that, because later I need to come back to how he acquired that book.
I know. I still actually don't know how he got it. I don't.
Call him right now. I'm kidding.
I should. Right. Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm at work.
Yeah. He's like,
or he might be golfing.
He's not. He was had a long day today.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so we're wishing you all the best. Yeah. By the time this comes out, Sam, we hope it's a better day. Well, you had mentioned right before we got into this, that's incredible. I'm sorry. That's just so crazy.
It's wild.
Why is that not like, well, you don't want everyone to know you have that first edition book, but like, there needs to be a story somewhere. And like,
I know. I feel like I should tell more people that story, but that's why now they can listen to the podcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
You talked about a monumental amount of growth, 60%, I believe, is what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What other than, your team, the people that you've brought in, do you think it's been advances in technology? Do you think it's, I know you guys are very active on social media. Do you think it's that? Do you think it's just what you're building and word of mouth? Like what makes an impact? Like that's what every business owner wants.
Consistency. I think it's consistency in product, treating people well. I think I'm not a traditional entrepreneur in the fact that I have a wonderful team. I'm the girl, my CFO, Sarah, whoever controls the money controls the company. Like, she is awesome, makes magic happen for us. And we bootstrapped the business. Like, from the beginning, I have a great mentor and friend who took a chance on me, and I could only use the Midsummer's Night Dream to get the lease of the building, but I needed a co-signer for bikes. And so he's an investor in the company, but a good friend of mine and mentor, Ja, he is one of my best friend's husbands, and he's mentored me a lot. And I think where I still am not, like, I will never be the one running the numbers, and that's okay. My brain is much more creatively wired. But I think where I shine as a leader and entrepreneur is I somehow am a fabulous connector, and I see talent in individuals, and it doesn't always work out, but I've managed to hire this team that like when I like sit and think sometimes I'm like, I don't know how I got this lucky. I don't know how I did it. I don't like, I mean, it's the team. I really can't take full, I mean, I know it's my business, but it's the team. Like, this studio would not be where it is without them. But everyone that's under like our roof they're good people. Mm-hmm. They're truly good people. And that's it. Like, you want to be around good people. That's the magic. That's treating people well. People want to feel seen. You want your name to be said in a class, even if you're in the back row in the corner. I don't really care if you think you're hiding. Like,
I see you.
I will see you. I'll learn your name. I'll say it, and I'll make sure I'll learn that thing about you. And I think we just try to put not forced toxic happiness, but like, again, let's go back to the plot of like feeling good for a second, because the world is hard. So like for 45 minutes, let's just feel good. And my team makes everyone feel so special, from the front desk staff when they've come in,
recognize you.
Yeah. To the instructors, like, it's the team. Like, I honestly, I can't even take full credit for it. Or like really any credits. I mean, I hired them somehow magically, like
from a Google Doc.
Seriously, I somehow,
yeah.
But yeah, it's really just the team. But I do think if you're consistent in your project, I think if you're determined enough, and like, you're going to have huge bumps in the road. There were like multiple times I was like, how we even pulled off paying rent. Like, we truly bootstrapped it. Like, we have this gorgeous desk now that it looks like a bar, and that's why I wanted it to, because where do you have good, meaningful conversations? A bar, right? So it was all thought of. But at first we had a retail table as a check-in, and we had a rented sound system, and it was only last March that we could finally afford the huge upgrade, like the Cadillac of a sound system, and it costs that. And it was just like, we didn't have the nicest stuff to begin with, and that's okay. Like, people still came because of the team. So it's really,
I do remember, I think you guys either made a TikTok or an Instagram reel right before the sound system went up, and it was all the comments of like, great class, but the speaker, the speaker cut out, the microphone.
Yeah.
It was like a very solid move. You were like, haha guys, yeah, but we did it now. So
you gotta lean into it. You know, It's like every class pass review, like, I'm like, I'll just lean into it. Like, it's totally, you're like, yeah, the speakers suck, but we get better ones. Yeah, seriously. But yeah, we did.
Yeah, and you have I think almost everyone you have a lot of coaches that have been there from the beginning still. Quite a handful.
Well, quite a few, but we've also expanded drastically. My team, front of house included, is around 35.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's wild.
And the highlight was getting your little buttons on the podium, right?
Yeah, I would go to like these, the Soul Cycle and all of the big names that have big backers, and they all like had these little knobs that they could like turn during class, and it looked so fun. Not even fun. It's just like, as an instructor, it looked like so.
That was it.
I don't know if I feel like they're swearing. Then there's like this word. It just looked so like, just say it, cunty, like in a hot way. I was like, I want to turn my own knobs. Of course, just want to turn my knobs. Like, this is now we have a touch screen too. It's like even huge. Yeah, it's like that's some shit right there.
It's come a long way. I mean, I feel like you post it when you do any sort of like throwback, but of like you on the floor putting
that freaking floor
together,
and the girls like we have some things we're working on the back end right now. We had this huge marketing meeting, and the girls were like, so about the floor, because I made the mistake, if you're ever opening a fitness studio, never put in an all black floor. It shows everything. and I got the all black. So I was like, oh, clean. But like, if they have a speckled one, you get the speckled one. Okay, like just know, everyone out there, get the speckled floor, okay? But they were like, it has like wax on it from people blowing out the candles so hard, or like them like knocked over, whatever. So the girls were like, can we get a new floor? And I was like, girly pops, that floor cost me like $8,000, and my literal blood is in it from my fingertips. And one of my best friends, Kirsten, she was there with me like all hours with like our mallet and like pressing it. Oh God, it hurt. Yeah. So no, I was like, no, we're not replacing that floor right now.
You're like, until it starts falling apart,
Until we move locations. I was like, we're not.
Oh, is it something in the works for there to be more than one or bigger? Because you guys have a pretty big space, but, and this is no offense, the building is old, so it's set up kind of strange because I've been in that basement.
Oh girl,
it's scary.
But the funny thing is, not funny, I guess. I mean, I've been haunted before by ghosts, so this is like,
no.
I literally had a full priest exorcism.
Okay.
I like shit, I'm not crazy, just haunted. No, that basement is so in Lawrenceville there's an underground tunnel system. Did you know about that?
Nope.
Yeah, it's how they used to trade weapons and transport people and alcohol and yeah. So there's like a lot of history in Lawrenceville, but our basement it's sealed off now, but it's part of the tunnel system. When I moved in, there was like this creepy, like this tiny little stove down there that I was like, this seems like
not.
Yeah, it just gave me bad like vibes. I was like, I don't know what. we're just not gonna touch it. We're just gonna leave it there. But yeah, no, the building is definitely old. It's part of the character and charm.
Prime location though.
It is a prime location. No, our lease is 5 years, so we're working on some things.
Good.
We're working on some things. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but yeah, we have some fun things. Yeah, that we're working on. But it's one of those hard things like that's like I've talked to a lot of other business owners, and it's like I feel like oftentimes you feel like you haven't made it unless you have multiple studios. But I do feel like the face of fitness is shifting in a way that not that people want necessarily a big box like gym like LA Fitness or Planet Fitness or any of the, where you pay less and you have everything there, and things are often, I think, dirty and broken. And
I wipe before and after.
Yeah, you gotta. You gotta. You're like, I do not touch my eyes. But you see the face of fitness is changing. People want more bang for their buck. They're also willing to spend a lot more. Like, would you, if you had more activities outside of just cardio in a space, but you paid a little bit more for your membership, but could also lift, like, would you? Yeah. Would you? And I think that's, it's, you don't necessarily, I think it's really hard. We live in this really strange world where uniformity is pushed. It's like I was literally out to dinner with my boyfriend the other night, and there was an entire cluster of girls. Like, I thought maybe they were dressing for a theme. They were every single one of them, baggy jeans and a black tank top, like, and sneakers. Like, that's all we were wearing. And I was like, what happened to individuality? Like, so it's like we push, like, it's like if you are not wearing, like, using the on trend TikTok sound or like this, like, are you going to go viral? And it's like, but how many creators have I watched that was like, I came on here was just myself, which you guys, you know what I mean? So it's like, how much do you follow the trend? And at what point are you going to try to not create your own trend, but
just be you,
change the mold?
Yeah.
And I think I wouldn't have, if I didn't take that first leap when everyone thought I was nuts. Like, I was sitting down with my dad's lawyer when I was organizing the first studio, and he said, this will never work because Pittsburgh's 2 years behind any type of trend, but
5 for fashion,
5 at least. And if there weren't, like, there were several like movers and shakers, like Meredith Ward had the barcode at the time, and shape training came about shortly after we opened Steel Rev. Like, at some point you have to decide, like, and people are going to dislike you for it. Like, I received a lot of, people just thought I was nuts. People thought I was nuts for doing it again. Like,
so you changed location? Because I think you moved to a better, I've never was in that physical space, but I mean, as far as the
Well,
neighborhood
Shady
goes,
Side, yeah, I think Shady Side sort of
ran its course.
I think some of the owners over there, the landlords, it was unfortunate. It's such a cool neighborhood space, but when you start losing the personality of a neighborhood, whereas Lawrenceville like really embraces individual businesses, but I think we get so, obviously you're trying to keep up with the times and the economy, and landlords need to make money, et cetera. But like you start outpricing some of these neighborhoods and these buildings, and you lose small businesses will always be the personality makers of any type of city, and I think that's where Lawrenceville is so awesome. And I just, I hope that like other neighborhoods can see that, like it is like these movers and shakers who take big risks to do big things, that like they're the ones that change cities and end up, changing the world, honestly.
I mean, you're right. I lived right before COVID happened. I was living closer to like Bakery Square and moved over to this side of town where we are now on the east side. And Garfield had nothing. Two Frays wasn't over there. There wasn't like any of those breweries. 1.1 might have been one of the only businesses that comes to mind that I remember. Like I just saw 4 new places are opening. Like there's signs up like coming soon, and it's you're talking about 5 years later. And Lawrenceville did that in what felt like overnight. Yeah, but I mean it took decades.
I mean, I remember even like in the Strip. Like they're redeveloping the terminal, but even like when Coupe de Ville took over Marty's Market, like everyone's like, what is this like chicken place with games? I mean, now it's like the frat boy corner of America. Like it's like, it's bustling on a Friday night. You know what I mean? But it's like, I mean, Deschamps, and I think like Big Burrito, when you look at restaurants, like they were doing that in Pittsburgh before Pittsburgh was even ready for it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you have to have like the risk takers. You have to have the people who are willing to like, and I mean, and sometimes you are going to epically fail, like epically fail. Like, I mean, I think some of the people I used to be friends with stopped being friends with me because I was no longer the business owner. I lost my business and kind of, it's like, who was I anymore? And I didn't have like that name, so to speak. I think Pittsburgh's so like but like you're going to fail. Every human being tries something and doesn't work out the way you thought or planned. And but you have to have some of us dramatic folk who are willing to just like
put a stake in the ground and say this is
just
happening.
Like, do it. Yeah. I mean, and you're not. I think not everyone's going to understand, but they don't need to. Like, you're not going to be understood by everybody, and that's okay.
And I think you kind of gave the advice without me asking. That might be some of the best advice, and please add anything if you want to. But to someone who's thinking about, like, you thinking about like before COVID when you're like, hey, I'm going to do this again. And that point happened. And I'm sure it was a long list of things, not just one moment. But would you change anything as of today in 2025, looking back on opening Steelhouse?
No, I don't think I was ready to do it. Okay. But you're never going to be ready. You're never going to be ready. Never, like, it's not going to go perfectly. It's going to go far different than you imagined. I think my biggest advice to people is you can't do it alone. And check who's in your corner. Like, who really has your back, who is going to be there when it's ugly and it's messy and you are the worst version of yourself, and who is going to stay loyal and honest when you're the best version of yourself. And I think, like, you have smart people. I'm surrounded by smarter people, but it makes me smarter every day. And just take the risk. Like, take it. Like, I mean, it's the same thing. It's like I think I'm entertaining on my Instagram to some degree. I think I'm funny on a lot of other degrees, but for whatever reason, every time I go to open my one front desker was like, you should just, I always think it's so funny, just put it on TikTok. And I'm like, and every time I open TikTok, I'm like, I can't do that. I'm like, I can't, that's not me. But it's, you know what I mean? That's like, why? It's like, I think it's like you know, I got older and wiser to some degree, but it's like, not everyone's going to agree with you, and that's okay. And that's me saying that as a recovering people pleaser, but just take the risk. And I think the hardest thing for me being super close to my family was their family members that disagreed with me, and that you grow up thinking that like you have to follow the opinions of your parents. And I think that often transforms into our social circles. Like you have to follow, and you don't. And it's so much more fun if you don't. It's like so wild and chaotic. And it's like my 16 personalities. And it's like, don't be afraid to be the chaos every once in a while. Bring it. It's so much more exciting. So much more exciting. Controlled chaos is like,
I love that.
Yeah. Probably because I have ADHD, but
Girl, me too. See you?
I mean, this is like, are you like diagnosed?
I am diagnosed.
Okay.
Yes. I'm now a few years in, so.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Because I know a couple of people who are like self-diagnosed, no hate. But it's like you see so much. I feel like ADHD became like the new protein topic. Yeah. It's like we're like analyzing our protein topic. You're like, do I have ADHD?
Real question since you brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
Is it even possible to reach your daily protein goal? Because, girl, I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm probably the worst person to ask about this. I am, because of my toxic habits of the past, like I'm also really weird about leftovers.
I don't like leftovers either.
Like don't come at me with a cold cut, and don't come at me with like a leftover chicken. Like I won't touch it. I won't. It's just, I don't care if it's from a Michelin star. I won't reheat. No, that's nasty. So I have a really hard time getting adequate protein, but I also like have a hard time with like protein shakes because I abuse them.
Oh, I don't like them.
And so I have found something. This is not an ad. I am not sponsored, but there's this company that's this female founded. It actually is third party studied, which a lot of you have to be careful with proteins. A lot of them aren't. It's called Drink Grams.
Okay.
And it's a clear protein. It's just like a lemonade, or they have like a strawberry one.
I love lemonade.
It's so good. Okay. 10 out of 10 would recommend. So, yeah. So
it
anyway,
needs to be sponsored, and then I need to try it.
Exactly. But no, protein intake is such a pain in the ass. I'm so over it.
Don't even want to talk. Actually, we'll just cut
my ADHD gives me a good personality. My protein intake makes me anxious.
Well, I thought it was really funny because you're talking about the undiagnosed. I remember one time someone was like, "Oh, I think that you might be," and I'm like, "No." Yes, a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't think so. And I was like, why is it when I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, I have to do 15 things before the one thing I have to do? And then my dad's like, oh, definitely. He's like, I'm probably undiagnosed, but you.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, you're like squirrel. I'm like,
where'd it go? But we all learned I think I learned growing up to mask some of those symptoms by, I'm a list person. Are you a list person or no? Mm-hmm. Everyone's different.
I do have to write. Like if you handed me your notes, you're like, here, I took these notes, like I was sick and missed class, I had to rewrite them myself.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
Like in order for me to like focus and learn it, I couldn't memorize just by reading things.
See, I have to listen to something while I'm doing something else and write down what I remember. Yeah. So
yeah,
that can be overwhelming for some people.
Emotionally, I'm like, I like rewatch Grey's Anatomy all the time.
All 18 years?
No, I only get to the plane crash.
Okay.
Then yeah, once McSteamy and Lexi are gone, I'm like, it's over. It's over. Like there's with that, yeah. But no, it's because I already know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've already seen like her take the bomb out of the body cavity so many times that like it's just white noise for me in the background. And like I have to have white noise on to do work.
Okay.
So I get it to some degree. It's like I have to have like multiple stimuli at all the time in order, so like otherwise I'm like, what? Yeah.
You know how people like to screen like corporate jobs?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to laptop for completely different things at the same time. That's like I can do, my dad will be like, hey, this came in for like his business. And I'm like, also like I have a call in 10 minutes.
God, you just stressed me out.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. But okay. See, there's different kinds.
There is. The brain's a crazy place. Yeah.
I hope you take a nice little relaxing moment and think about
Namaste.
All right, I have one final question for you. And people sometimes don't like this one, but I'm going to ask you about your definition of success, because you've been through ups and downs and things have changed, and you've had family disagree with you and people tell you we're crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think when you were starting out deciding that fitness was going to be a career path for you in some capacity before you really knew what you're going to do to now, that definition has changed?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I fully admit, like, when I was younger, I wanted to be famous. And now I don't care the more I've actually gone down the conspiracy theories of Hollywood, the less I'm like, thank goodness. That seems like a mess of a place. But I think, I don't know if it was really like people, maybe I felt so unseen for so much of my life. Like I always was trying to make myself smaller to fit in. And I think back to like my childhood, I was a different learner than my siblings. I had a different brain. And again, I was always trying to fit into this box. Same with college and then friendships. And now, like, yeah, I mean, success now is no longer, I think, defined by, like, would more money be great? Sure. Like, anyone who's like, money won't solve your problems, I'm like, you already have a ton of it. Like, but no, I think I'm in a place now where I still have insecurities, and like, I mean, we're all human, but I'm so much now, it's a scale of how happy I am and how supported I feel. And I think it's hard. I'm excited for what's coming, but I'm in such a content place with my life that change becomes, I used to seek change. Like my nervous system also was like, let's get chaotic. Like that's where I felt safe. And now success is like, did I have more focused time with my family to go hang with my parents? Did I have like adequate dog snuggles? Did I get like a great dinner with my boyfriend? Did I get like quality time with my friends? Like I think it's now I'm in a place much more focused on quality and feeling, and that is success to me. I have a great roof over my head. I have amazing people in my life. I have a fantastic dog. I have a great family. Are there still bumps in the road? Do I still have hopes and dreams? For sure. But if someone was like, this is like, it's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like I'm 34
it's been
and
a lot worse.
It's been a lot worse. And, you know, I'm sure there will be hard moments to come, but I think now success is I have the tools I need to handle what will come my way. And I have really cool people around me, and I have a really great team, and I feel a lot more focused and like mentally stable. Yay. Woo! Yay therapy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think success is just like, it's so easy to get caught in the hustle and bustle of
what amount of money do you make? And
yeah, which like obviously, sure, I still want a huge career. I still want to make a name for myself, but it's not based off of, I think, it's not based off of what it looks like online.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
I don't need the facade of that. I think I will be even more happy if I can pay and extend like to the people I care about in a more meaningful way. But yeah.
You're not worried about living like the Instagram reel?
No.
It's about all the other stuff that,
No, and that's hard. That's really, really hard to get out of that loop. But yeah, no, take me for what I am. And, you know, and that's
dog hair included.
Dog hair included. And yeah, and if you can just kind of, everything will have a trend and an ebb and a flow and everything. It's like, if you really can figure out who you are, like not outwardly but inwardly, and you know, and you can have a couple really good people in your life that no matter what will have your back. Like, I think like you're doing pretty great. Like, that's, I have a roof over my head. Can put my dog's homemade food on his table. And I think that really is, I know that's like super cliche, but it is really true. It's like a sense of peace. At one point in my life, I would have, I mean, truly, I would have done anything for, and now I have it. And it's like, you just can't take that for granted at all. Yeah.
It changed, but you got to where you wanted to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Love it.
For sure.
Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
I appreciate having you here today. Do you have anything else you'd like to share with us before we say goodbye?
No, I don't think so. Come take my class, or any of my team members. They're really great. Come visit us at Steelhouse Cycle.
Yes,
and super fun.
I will make sure to have all the links that you would like to share in this episode when it comes out. Until next time, I'm Brooke Addis with Transform Labs. I want to thank you guys all for listening. Allison, again, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Make sure to check out Steelhouse Cycle, and make sure to follow Transform Labs online for the next podcast update. Keep exploring, keep evolving. Your next adventure might be the best one yet. See you, bye.